So I learned, and look, when you're in the Patriots for 20 years, like, we answered all the questions with as few words as possible. And we were not trying to give away any bit of our strategy because it was intense competition. So I just think now at this point in my life, I'm here to share as much as I've learned. Like I said, I feel like I've been so blessed. I'm so grateful for all the people that have been in my life because I couldn't have done it without all of them. All those experiences that we think are the hardest things in our life end up being the best experiences in our life, because if you approach it with humility and you look inward, they become the best opportunities for growth and learning.
Is there a part of the reason why you may say, no, Pat, I'm always like this. You just haven't seen me because I'm doing the interviews when they're asking me the question. So what do you think about the ball that was dropped? We all made some mistakes. I made some mistakes. We have to get back and watch the tapes, and we're going to figure out a way to get better.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to playing XYZ team this next Sunday. We have some work to do.
Yeah.
We also have, you would always like giving those answers,
for sure.
right? But were you always like this behind closed doors? And the reason why I ask is the following, because is there any anxiety when you're by yourself? You're like, shit, I'll be playing right now. I can beat that guy. I can do this. Or are you kind of like, that chapter is so done. I am fully good. I am so at peace. I am so fulfilled. I got so many other things I want to tackle. I'm done. And you're the way you are now.
Yeah, very much so. I think it's a lot like that. I feel like I did my part. I ran a lot of marathons. And it's not that I wouldn't love to still do it. I mean, I'd love to throw the football. I'm going to probably throw the football for as long as I could. But I also know that, I don't know if how many of you, it's a good analogy because a lot of people do run. But man, it's great to run the first probably 4 miles of the marathon. And it's really fun to cross the finish line. But man, those middle miles probably really suck. And if you want to be good at those middle miles, you got to work really hard in the whole off season to prepare yourself for a real big challenge, which is the NFL season. And, I have a 16-year-old son, I have a 13-year-old son and a 10-year-old girl, and, they've been to enough of my games. And, I want to be at their games, and I want to be there for them. And, it's a very intense season, and, it's just a different chapter in my life. I was the oldest guy in the league, like, for the last 3 or 4 years. I was like, and it's not that I didn't have the ability to still relate to those guys. I still feel like I could go out there and play at a high level, but I just, they need someone that's going to be in it year round. And I think for me, that commitment's too much because my kids need me year round too. And, that's the most, very important thing.
Tom, I had our guys run some numbers here. So here's what we have. College football, players of all time. In the history of America, how many kids have played for college football? Any level of college. 5.62 million kids have played college football.
Wow.
25,000 is NFL, which means roughly 0.0045 make it to the NFL. Out of the 25, 300 Hall of Fame. 0.012, okay? Then you have the guy that makes it into the All-Star game or the Pro Bowl, right? Whatever the sport is. Then you got the guy that wins a championship and is the MVP. Big deal, right? Then you got the guy that does it twice or 3 times. And then you got the guy that keeps going and going and going and going and has got 7 championships and he's already worth a ton of money. There are no more accolades that this guy's got to get, and he keeps driving. So what is the mountain you have to hit for you to continue? Meaning, it's already challenging enough to play for college football.
Yeah.
How many of you guys play college football here? Put your hands up if you play college football. It's not a lot of hands, guys. They're putting your hands up for college football. Okay, how many here played in the NFL or got drafted? Anybody here play in the NFL? How many hands do you see? One person NFL, anyone else? No, 1 out of 3,000, right? We're talking NFL. So for you, it has to be, how sometimes people use this script. I'm assuming it's a script because if I had to make that decision, I'm not having this script. Well, I have to go talk to my wife and our family, and we're going to take some time off and decide what we're going to do next season and come up. It's a phenomenal script that everybody uses, right? Yep. But deep down inside what you're going to be doing. You're like, I'm going to come back because I want to get that next one. For each next hurdle and mountain, what did it take to get you back? And was that like an evolution of making a decision? Or was like, no, man, I'm going to go? Because I don't know what interview it was. In one of the, if it was Edelman or if it was Walker, I think it was Edelman where you're like, hey, Man, imagine if you beat Montana with 5. It's like, this guy's not going for Montana. This guy's going for Michael for 6. He wants to have 7, right? So did you know that's what you're doing to be the greatest of the greatest?